welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, today we will be talking eyeshadow. Eyeshadow 101, everything. It's about the shadow today. And it is 2025. Do we still do eyeshadow in 2025 anymore? And let me just say something for that. I will be, okay? I don't care how much the trend changes. I bought all these eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow is one of the things that actually make me fall in love with makeup, with all the pretty colors. So I will be doing eyeshadow until 2045, okay? So I'm just going over the basics today. Okay guys, so I did my brows off camera, okay? And yeah, so we're just gonna get right into it. Brows are done. First thing first, what you need when you are doing eyeshadow is an eyeshadow base, okay? There's a couple options that you can use for eyeshadow base. Number one being the most basic, easiest option is concealer. So what you can do is take, usually preferably you should take a concealer a couple shades lighter than you because you want the eyeshadow to pop. You want it to be its true color. So you could do that. Me, today, I'm going to use an eyeshadow base. Okay guys, so here is the eyeshadow base that I will be using. This is the P. Louise base, okay? This is an OG. I know many of you guys probably have heard of this base already, but I've been using this for years and it's worked great for me. But this is the shade Rumor 2. It's a little bit like kind of whitish, but that's because you want the shadows to be opaque and their true color. So we're going to start by putting just a dot of this, a couple dots, literally just a few dots. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so that's all I need. Just a little bit. As you guys can see, I'm gonna close my eyes so you can see how much I actually use, but that is it. We're just batting this in, taking a little fluffy brush, and we're just gonna blend this out over all our entire eyelid. Like so. You guys don't pay attention. You still want to see a white cast with this. You don't want this to be, you know, I mean, it's gonna be white, okay? So don't be scared. Blending that out, and it should look like something like this when you're done, okay? So for eyeshadow today, we're going in with our new Persuasion palette, okay? This palette is perfect for beginners, okay? Perfect for beginners. It has very nice soft glam shades in here, and I love this palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on most of these shades, but this is what we're gonna be using today. If you don't have this, you can definitely get something that is close to this, okay? Don't feel like you have to have what palette I'm using, but this is what we're going to start with. Doing eyeshadow, your first shade that you're going to put down is called your transition shade. The shade is usually a just basic shade. It's not too, don't want it too dark, you don't want it too light. It's just something that kind of you want to fade, you want your eyeshadow to fade into, basically, okay? So for us brown skin girls, I typically go in with a brown, like a nice mid-tone brown. So what I'm gonna be using is this shade Caramel here. I don't know if you guys can see that caramel. And then we're gonna use this mix of this shade Fawn up here, okay? As you can see, I love this shade because it is almost gone. But we're gonna use those, a mix of those two, and I will show you the placement. Also, what's important is your brushes. When you are doing eyeshadow, you want, the correct brush can make all the difference, okay? So I have my Sigma E40 taper blending brush. You guys, you just basically want a brush that is a blending brush, okay? You see this cone top here? That's what you want, something kind of like that's not pointed. You want more of this type look of brush, okay, for your transition shade. You can get, you guys, Morphe has these brushes for $5, okay? Don't feel like you gotta get expensive brushes from Sigma. Don't make the same mistake I did, because that's what I thought, and I used to spend all this money on brushes, huh? But you don't have to do that. Honestly, you can get the cheapest brushes. So we're taking this blending brush and we're going into those two shades. I'm lightly tapping, look. So we're going into here, tap here, tap off the excess, and we're going right in our crease, you guys. So right placement, you always want the transition shade to go right above your crease, okay? Crease is where the eye folds, okay? So my eye folds here, so I'm going above that. That's where we put in the first shade, okay? So I'm taking those two, tap off the excess, doing windshield wiper motions through. Okay, and that is basically it. You just want a little wash of color. You see that little wash of brown it's giving me? That's what you want. You don't want a lot of this shade. You don't want it to be too overpowering. Next shade, what we will use is called the crease shade. Crease shade is used to deepen the crease, to give your eyeshadow, to make your eyeshadow pop more, basically. Okay, for our crease shade, it should be 2 to 3 shades darker than our skin tone. So from the palette, I'll show you what shade I'm going to go in with and what brush I'm going to use. So I will go with something, this shade here, Chocolat. Okay, so we're going to take that one, and then a mix of these two shades here for our crease shade, okay? Mocha and Chocolat. Brushes are more tapered. They are more focused. You have this like pointy brush because you want to really focus the shade in like a certain area. So you wouldn't use a brush as big as your transition shade blending brush, but you use a smaller brush shade, okay? So either this one, this is a Morphe brush that I got. These are both Morphe brushes. This is the Morphe M506, and this is a Morphe, this is a JH37. Take that brush, okay? We're just gonna dip in a little bit to Chocolat and then Mocha. Tap off the, always remember one rule of thumb is to tap off the excess, okay? After you dip in your shadow, tap off the excess. And then we are just going to place it. I'll show you where this is going here. This shade is going right in our crease and outer V, and you're just placing it right there. And I am just tapping, as you can see, just tapping motions, okay? Just to get that shade on. And once I tap it down, I'm just going to do some circular motions. See, I'm tapping. Don't worry about my skin, you guys. I'm breaking out, okay? Bad breakout. Just try to ignore it, okay? But I am just literally tapping this shade on. And as you can see, it is darkening up the eyeshadow look. And tapping it. And then just kind of doing a little circular motion. Okay. And that is good enough for me because I don't want it to be too dark. But you see how that gave us some definition? Another rule of eyeshadow is that you must keep going back and reblending your shade so you don't lose anything. So what I'm gonna do is take that transition brush, okay? I'm gonna dip into that first shade that we use, maybe just a little bit, tap off the excess, and just kind of go on the top of where we put that dark shade, just to make sure everything is still there. We're not losing any colors or shades. And then just kind of blend that over that. Look how pretty that looks. You see the difference? So the next shade and the final shade, I told you guys 1, 2, 3 for eyeshadow. The final shade is the lid shade, okay? Lid shades can be, like I said, today I'm going in with a soft pink, but you can go in with a shimmer, you can go in with, you know, just something. It doesn't have to be, just kind of how you want your eyeshadow to be. So today I'm going in with a soft pink shade, this pink shade here. I love this shade, and that's going to be our lid shade, and I'll show you what brush I'm going to use to apply that, okay? So what we're going to do to make sure our shade on the lid pops, okay, and that we didn't you know, we make space for with this brown shade that we have on our eyes, is we're going to use a little bit of that. Remember that base we used first? We're going to use a little bit of that P. Louise base, just like literally a dot, and put it on our lid space just to make sure that eyeshadow has space. It can be seen. It is pigmented. Okay, excuse me, you guys. We're going to use a dot of this. So I'll show you. I'm using this brush. It's the same brush I used to apply it in the beginning. I have a dot on my hand, so literally that much, you guys. I'm not even using that much. I'm taking even half of that, dabbing it there, and we're just going to dab this over our lid space. But you kind of want to create a little bit of an oval. I'm trying to show you guys as I'm applying and doing it. You just want to open your eye up a little bit. Just applying it. And just tapping motions I'm using. Okay, and you see our eyeshadow is kind of white, but don't be scared because our lid shade is going to go right over that. So next for our lid shade, we're taking this type brush. Okay, so you want, basically for lid shade, you want a packer brush. Packer brushes are kind of flat. You still kind of want it to be a little fluffy. Okay, this one is the MAC 217. I've had this brush for years, but literally you just want something to easy that you can pack that lid shade right on the top. Okay, so what we're gonna do is take this brush, we're gonna dip into that shade just a little bit, tap off, and then I'm gonna just go right on top of where we put that base.
It's amazing how strong that song was. Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal.
Right on top, and then we're just, our motions, just patting motions. Okay.
Get their knees going. Gotta get them pumping, pumping, pumping. Boom, 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 boom.
Our last step to finish this eyeshadow look, I told you it's super easy. We're just gonna blend that. So you put your lid shade down, you just have to blend it with that shade that you put in your crease. So what we're gonna do is take our crease brush. I'm gonna take both of them. We're gonna take our transition and crease brush and just go right over the top of the lid shade, okay? So you just kind of doing circular motions just to kind of blend it together. Like literally a 1 2 1 2 right around that lid shade. And you just want to, the purpose of this is just to make sure everything is super blended. You don't want any harsh lines or anything like that. Okay, it doesn't look like much, but your eyeshadow doesn't really look like much until you do your face, and then you can say like, oh my god. Okay, so let me show you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put some liner and lashes on, and I will show you guys the finished look. Liner and lashes, okay? I just put my lashes on. So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna do my full face, as you can see. I'm gonna do my full face, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you guys the finished look. But I love how it came out so far. As you can see, eyeshadow is simple. 1 2 3. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Yeah, so I'll do my face, and I can bring eyeshadow back to the makeup trend right now. Everybody is off of it, but let's bring it back, okay? So I'm gonna do my full face, and I'm gonna come back, but okay. This is the finished look. I did my full face off camera, and I love the way it turned out. I love the way it turned out. My brows are kind of thick, but besides the point, eyeshadow 101, super simple. Yes.